This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. It's Hump Day. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you live from the studios of WOCA Radio, just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. I want to start the show off by saying about 45 minutes ago, I got a phone call here at the radio studio. Someone was reporting that there was an automobile accident that had the northbound lanes of 441 either blocked or very slow about a mile north of 326 on 441. So if you're heading in that direction, we got an update about 45 minutes ago. If anybody else is out there, give us a call, 622-9622, if that wreck is still impeding. Because they said it had the roadway blocked, but it looked like that you could get around on the shoulder, that people were trying to go down on the shoulder. So 441 north, just north of 326, about a mile. About 45 minutes ago, there was a report of a wreck that had traffic stopped. Galen Unall from Life South joins us. That's the direction he travels in, but he usually goes up 75, not 441, Galen. So hopefully you didn't take 441 this morning.
No, 75. 75.
You know, both of them can be just proven to be bottlenecked if a wreck happens, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's this time of the year. Our whole area is flooded with Canadians.
Can't drive.
Well,
nice people. Fill up the
tee
sheets.
They're great people.
Fill up the tee sheets at the golf courses. Come on now. Real vital to our community, our economy, just not our roadways.
No, and again, make every possible reservation, because Lord knows it's hard to get a reservation this time of the year, and that's great. Just use Uber, right? Uber everywhere from once you exit the state of Georgia, because in Georgia you blend right in and you don't stand out.
Have big parking lots right at the state line.
Yeah, agreed. And then you have, talking about a boom to our economy. If we went back to and agree, let's be honest. Most of these Canadians, they're escaping socialism, right? Their housing market is a disaster because it's so high, right? Their prime minister is crazy. They're locking up priests and sending them to jail for 7 years for actually, preaching. So they come to Florida, and I respect that, right? We're free,
yeah. We're almost
they can
like
do whatever they want.
We're almost like New Hampshire, live free and die. We're almost like New Hampshire.
Yeah. I mean, they can jump their horses here without being arrested, and we welcome them.
Yes, just don't bring your car.
But just hire a driver like the good old days.
Get one of these private pilots to fly you into Ocala and just have a driver waiting on you.
Again, no problem doing that either. Right?
Yeah.
Just hire a driver within the state of Florida.
By the way,
that's all.
By the way, they're not real good at navigating golf carts either. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, I don't have a lot of experience.
Is it an extension of the car driving? Is that what it is?
Well, at that point on the golf course, especially if you're behind them, because then you just start driving into them and going, "Oh, my bad, I didn't know you were that far back." Or
I don't have that opportunity anymore.
Well, when I was young, I could hit it, then you could be like, I really got a hold of that one. Well, or my favorite one that I ever use is, man, I got this new driver.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't know I
could
hit
it
that
good
far.
10 yards.
Yeah, sorry.
It added a good 10 yards. Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, it's fine. So, again, by the way, have you tried to make a reservation in town lately? Wow.
Look.
Wow.
I don't know who you are. I'm very secure in who I am. There's no reservations made by me, pal.
Okay, where are you eating?
I walk in the back door like Henry Hill and Goodfellas.
Wow.
I get up to the
Doesn't mean you're
stage.
getting a table.
I get there. Hey, I get up there. The guy goes, "Hey, Mr. Schmitz is here." Yeah, up front, right there by Bobby Vinton, where Bobby Vinton's going to be singing. Oh yeah.
You're handing him a $5 bill.
I get to the table. Frankie Carbone sends me a bottle of champagne over. You know.
Wow.
And that's before he sues the Simpsons for his likeness on the Simpsons from Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? That is my favorite scene in that movie, by the way, where they walk through the restaurant and they're doing that all. Yeah. That's one take, and the cameras follow them, and they get there, and the dumbest line is, "I didn't think it was that big a deal. A guy with 21 that had that much money. What?"
Yeah.
That's just Karen Hill getting drunk with money and saying, "I didn't care what he did for a living. He was a big baller. That's all I knew. Shot caller. He had 20-inch blades on the Impala. That's all I know."
He had a driver.
Yeah. What did he say? She goes, "Why, you just leave your car on the street right here?" No, I pay him. He watches it for me. It's okay. He's shoving 20s and 100s in everybody's pocket.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal. A 21-year-old had that kind of money. Okay, when I was 21, if I'd had that kind of money, I'd have had the DEA looking at me.
Well, no. If you have that much money, you have other people that you just have a guy next to you just hands it to you when you want it. You don't carry it.
He said, "What do you do for a living?" "I'm in construction." "These hands don't feel like construction." Right. "Yeah, I'm a union delegate."
Yeah, right. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, you either in construction or waste management at that point, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, some people could disappear accidentally in both job titles.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Look, he left. I don't know.
What happened?
Yeah.
I don't know. He said the wife and the kids were too much at home. He needed a break. I don't know what happened to the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Scorsese does a good job with his movies.
He did. I think he jumped the shark. But,
now you're right. That's a little, Now
he's lost his fastball.
You know what's great for me that a lot of
people could argue what his last good film was.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, because I don't think Casino was great.
No, I do not either. And the movies he made about the Irish mob and all with Jack Nick, I didn't care.
They're terrible. They're like 3 hours too long.
But they gave him the Oscar for it because they didn't give him the Oscar for Goodfellas.
Of course, which was the mistake.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Yeah,
besides Godfather and Godfather 2, Goodfellas probably the best genre of that movie ever made. Well, and you could argue it's the best.
And Don Rickles is the only reason to watch Casino, by the way.
He really is. But he's great in that movie. He is fantastic.
He plays himself, by the way, which is even better.
But as a casino manager.
Well, yeah, but there's no purpose for him in that movie.
None.
Other than being
just
Don
to remind
Rickles.
you that it's Vegas.
And that Don Rickles is funny.
Right.
Don Rickles is.
So
he's an underrated comedian.
So you know what I love about the movie Goodfellas, or one of the things I love that a lot of people don't know? Did you ever see My Blue Heaven, the movie My Blue Heaven?
Where's that? That's not the Rick Isaac.
No, it's Steve Martin is a gangster that relocates out in the Midwest. And,
yes.
Is it Martin Short's his handler or something?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That was actually a comedic spoof of what they thought would happen when Henry Hill went to went to witness protection. That was actually an extension of Goodfellas that a lot of people don't realize. That's the comedic version of what they thought Henry Hill's life looked like probably once he got put in the joke that is witness protection. When you come from the life he came from and then go to witness protection, that movie, My Blue Heaven, was a comedic goof on the afterlife of Henry Hill after Goodfellas. And a lot of people don't know that, but that's true story.
Yeah, it's an okay movie.
It's got some funny parts, okay? Steve Martin coming across a tough guy in those electric blue suits and all. Come on, let's give it a break.
His accent.
Oh, it's terrible. The only movie that has worse accents than My Blue Heaven to me, and you're going to be surprised. But actually, let's take a break. Let's take a break, and I'll come back and tell you the movie that I think has the worst accents for no reason. We'll do that next. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Wednesday. I'm Tom Schmitz coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio. Galen Unoff from Life South, brought to you by Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and Just Ship joins us. Galen, I tell you, my wife made me a nice little glass of orange pico Tazos breakfast tea for my throat and everything. Sure. Fantastic! Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm not a Tazos guy, but yeah, I mean, you know, I love tea. I know them all. So if you need some recommendations on tea brand.
The reason we went I know why we went with Tazos. I did that because when I walked by the buy one get one table at Publix, it was in there.
Then it's a no-brainer.
Right.
Then go ahead and grab some.
You got two boxes for one. That's a no-brainer. With tea, you get two boxes for one. You can slough through it not being the greatest tea in the world. So
right. Yeah. But there's a tea shop in the Villages.
Oh, there really is. A really nice tea shop in the Villages. So before we went to break, we were talking about movies and bad accents and Steve Martin's bad accent and My Blue Heaven. But there are movies that, you know, and I know that you get jaded because when you hear it in your accent and people overdo it, you're like, really? Because I'm sure people get so tired of hearing, I'm going to park the car. You know, because that's a terrible Boston accent I just did. But to me, it sounds like I'm right there on Harvard Common. You know what I mean? I'm right there in downtown Boston. But the movie that got me, and it was because the people who used the accent didn't need to. And that's even worse. When you don't need to have an accent and you do it anyway, that even makes it worse to me. And I'll give you a prime example. And I'm about to just anger a lot of women in the Deep South and everything. And I'm telling you, Steel Magnolias is garbage. And I'll tell you why.
Good luck. Yeah.
Tell you why.
That's a bridge too far for me. I'm not. You can hang out there by yourself.
I'll tell you why. No, I love the movie. The storyline's great. I love the movie. The storyline's great. It is a movie that encapsulates the Deep South and women's groups and how aunts and cousins and all get along. I'm not denying that fact. But when you are from the state of Georgia and your name is Julia Roberts, you don't need to overdo your southern accent. You already got one. You're from Georgia. The only person that used their actual accent in that movie was Dolly Parton. Because she's like, honey, I'm from the hills of Tennessee. There ain't no faking this. But if you go back and listen to Julia Roberts' over-the-top accent in that movie, and I'm like, you're from Georgia. You don't need to have that accent. You got an accent. You try to battle it. She tries to battle her accent in every movie because she got a Georgia accent. Sally Fields didn't need to put an accent on. She's from the South, but she did. I just don't get that.
Yeah.
When you're from the South, there's no reason to try to overdo it. Jeff Foxworthy, people think he overdoes. No, that's how the man talks.
That is exactly how he talks. You can't help it.
Right. So
That's God-given.
That gets me when you see people who you know where they're from. Julia Roberts graduated from Osborne High School in Smyrna, Georgia. Okay? Smyrna. Right there north of Marietta. You know?
Marietta.
Exactly. So it's not Marietta, it's Marietta.
Marietta.
Yeah.
Marietta.
Yeah.
And by the way, you ask anybody from Marietta, that's how they say it. Now,
Of
if they
course it
moved
is.
there, they said, well, it's in Marietta.
Well, yeah.
I don't know where that is.
Just like if you go up to
That place south of Smyrna?
Yeah, you go up to Ringgold, Georgia. It's right next to Lafayette. But you know somebody ain't from
that's
Lafayette because they'll say Lafayette. No, you ain't from around here.
That's right. No.
Just like everybody will tell you it's Houston County where Warner Robins is. No, Houston's
Oh,
in
boy.
Texas.
No, it ain't.
This is Houston County where Warner Robins
This is Houston. Man, there's a couple in Alabama, and I'm like, now, wait. I forgot which one. There's a county where the city is a name, and then there's another county with the exact same name, and they say it all
Say it
but
differently.
They both
Yeah.
say it different.
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
well,
okay.
Well, what's the town up near? What's the town up near Santa Fe? It's Alachua, but it's in Alachua County.
Oh, absolutely. That's another one. It's like, okay.
You go to
right.
you go to Conestoga's restaurant. Conestoga's restaurant on the downtown square, Alachua, but it's in Alachua County. So what is it, Alachua or Alachua?
And it's spelled the same.
And it's spelled exactly the same.
Again, the English language is absolutely a bastardization of every other language that's ever been spoken in the history of man.
Well, that's why I said when I got my master's degree and I was going to get a doctorate. I'd only been 7.5 years in college. I'd gotten a master's degree.
Thank God you didn't.
I was going to get a PhD
me calling
in
you
history.
doctor is never going to happen.
I was going to get a PhD in history. I was ready to go. And then the roadblock popped up. You must be proficient in 2 foreign languages, and they suggest German and Latin because a lot of the historical documents were written in German and Latin. I literally looked at my advisor and went, "You know where I'm from. I barely got a grasp of the English language. How the hell am I going to be proficient in 2?" He goes, "That is a very good point. That is a very good point." And what deterred me from getting my PhD in English was you had to be proficient in 2 foreign languages. And I'm like, I'm from North Florida, South Georgia. I can barely speak English the way people can listen to it legibly. I'm good. Master's degree works. I'm good. Now, though, one of the foreign languages that qualifies, the American Sign Language. And I could have learned ASL.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's
You're
one.
kidding, right?
You can learn American Sign Language. It counts as one of your foreign languages.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're dumbing down society is what we're doing, see?
Well, I went to Flagler.
You were.
Every class I was in, there was somebody who was in there signing.
You were one of those. You were one of those wealthy kids too.
GI Bill. Yeah. GI Bill, and they're the only ones who took me.
And it was right there at the Florida School for the Blind and the Deaf. So I bet you did. Let me tell you, the hardest hit I ever got hit in a football game was West Nassau. My sophomore year, West Nassau playing the St. Augustine School of the Deaf and Blind, Florida School of the Deaf and Blind. We were going to take it easy on those little kids. They didn't see it that way. They're
from all over the state.
They come out and hit me in the mouth. I laughed. I go, "Oh, you want to play football?" He goes, "Yeah, hit." He's screaming at me to hit. and he's not, he's deaf. He's screaming at me to hit. So the second time he comes off the line, he pops me in the mouth again, and now he hits my chin with his helmet, and it busts my chin, and I'm bleeding. I go, okay. I go back in that huddle. I go, all right, fellas, remember how we going to take it easy on these kids that can't see and can't hear? Worry about that tomorrow. We started tearing. I was trying to cripple them then. I was like, all right, I guess you really want to play the game of football. And at the end of that game, we were beat up, battered. We won the game very easy. These kids had the biggest smiles on their face, giving us hugs, thanking us for playing them, not taking it easy on them and everything. They enjoyed getting their rear ends handed to them because they were treated as equals for that football game.
Yeah.
It was an eye-opener for me. It was a really big eye-opener for me at 15 years old.
Well, and again, I mean, you go in and, they just, again, want to be treated equal. So, I in the back of my mind, I know before we came on the air, we were talking about the trans swimmers.
We're going to get in that after the break. Yeah, we're getting that after the break. Go ahead.
Man, but I don't know. I don't know.
There's a couple crazy sports stories I want to get into after the break.
Yeah.
One of them's at Vanderbilt University, and I thought they were supposed to be the smart SEC school. Wait till you hear how ignorant a decision was at Vanderbilt yesterday where it comes to sports. And then we're going to talk about the swim meet that happened up in the Ivy League. We'll do that after the break. But, we were talking about being proficient in foreign languages and everything, and people with their accents.
Yeah.
Don't you think that even though Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were from the Boston area, South Boston, in Good Will Hunting, did they overdo it a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst movie, but all of those regionalized movies are pretty bad.
It's almost like they want you to know what region,
Yeah, absolutely. Like Deliverance.
Yeah.
You don't need Ned Beatty to act like that. But now the guy who says apparently it says you sure do have a pretty mouth. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean that was dead on creepy.
Oh, and that's dead on the hills of Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky. I met people like that when I lived in the mountain areas of Boone. People that you just knew that when they said things like that to you, you just put a mental note in your head, stay as far away from that human as you can ever be.
Yeah.
And you run into them in a little corner grocery store and everything because, there's big grocery stores in town, but everybody's got the little grocery store where you go get the eggs and the milk and stuff.
Sure.
And they were always in there. And it seemed like overalls with no T-shirt, with no shirt on underneath, had a lot to do with it, too. I think that was one of the factors that kind of gave it away a lot, too.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie because it's really off-putting in a long time. After you watch that, if you hear any stringed guitar, banjo, violin, you kind of get the yips, right? You're like, oh, gotta watch my back here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I still to this day, the first 3 or 4 plucks of a banjo, I'm like, what the hell is he about to play?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. No, that's Bella Fleck. Okay, I'm good with that. Whoa, what the? No, that's Steve Martin. Okay, good.
There's only like 3 songs that are played on the banjo. Right?
And any one of them that starts, run.
Run.
Those videos you see on the videos you see on social media. Run.
Right. And don't look back. Just beat the guy next to you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't even have to be fast. You just got to be faster than the antelope running next to you. That's all you got to do.
That's right. Yeah, and again, but run. I mean,
fast.
I've been to where they filmed it, and
it's a scary place.
Absolutely.
Tallulah Gorge. Oh.
But it's breathtakingly beautiful.
It is, but it when you think about what they filmed there, it's still scary. We got to take a break.
You're like, that didn't happen. But it could happen.
It could happen. We got to take a break.
It's not going to be me.
No. Squeal like a pig. You squeal like a pig. I'm out. We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, The Source.